Remember those wonderful winters of delicate cascading snow? The soft presence of Jack Frost paying us a visit. The towering Christmas tree decorated with all those colorful lights. And those delightful feelings that felt so permanent, even if only for a season, if not all year. This was the moment to smile, to anticipate, to drink eggnog, and wonder the mysteries that lie under wrapping paper. The toys. The feverish curiosity that only painted plastic can bring. Welcome to ToyCrazy, where only us kidults can truly smile.
Hi.
What are you doing here?
Playing.
This is for kids, and you're not a kid.
Welcome, kiddos, to my 4th episode, man. Welcome to the playpen. That's right, we're gonna have some fun today. I had to wait for these goodies to come in. They finally came in, cut them out the box, out the fucking styrofoam, all that shit, paper. Got them out. I'm ready to go, ready to show you some goodies and have a good old time in my playpen. That's right. Styling and wilding, chilling like a villain. But before you drive over to my toy store and see what toys I got for you, we're going to have some adult conversations. We're going to talk about the power of innocence. Because I really think the power of innocence is something that's lost in this age. I mean, in the end, everything that's happening now is like the same things that happened in the time that I grew up. There's really no difference in it. It's always politics, it's always drama, people don't know how to treat each other. You know, all of this stuff is the same. And I have to be honest with you. Lately, I've been tuning that shit out. You know, I really have. I've been tuning out all of this stuff that's just going on out in the world. Not because I'm trying to escape it, not because I'm trying to act like it doesn't exist or I can't deal with it. Not that. It's because I believe this one profound point. It's what you answer to. And I don't want to answer to that because a lot of this stuff is beyond my control. A lot of this stuff I can't really do nothing about. And it's almost like the world tries to force you to have an opinion about it, to deal with it, to get caught up in it. And in situations that, what can you do? All you can do is really just take care of your own and those whom you love. You know what I'm saying? So everything else is just extra stuff that, it's like us putting a whole lot of shit on us that we really can't deal with. So I've been tuning that out, focusing on my innocence. Like the innocence is the reason why I moved away from the city, like why I'm here, like and way out in the country and where I don't hear cars, I don't hear stuff. Just all I hear is just birds and nature. And I love it. I love nature. I love just the quiet and the peace. You can hear yourself think. You can go within to come without. Just be in the beauty of the world. Hear the whispers that go on in the woods. All of the cool stuff that you really don't hear is absent in the city because you're just stuck in the rat race. Trying to keep up with the Joneses, trying to be down, and all of that stuff. It's like I came home, back to my innocence, back to that whisper of God within myself. And I just wanted to share this with you because I know that's what's missing in this world, is we're missing that innocence, kiddos. We're missing that power of innocence. Remember like when you was young, it was all about the hero. It was all about doing the right thing. It's always bad circumstances that happen in the world. It's like I said before, the world is just always challenging you. And you got to understand that that's all it's doing. It's challenging you. And you can either bring out the best of yourself or the worst of yourself. But in the end, the choice is yours. And the power of innocence is like the beauty of being the good guy. You know, today everybody wants to be the badass. They want to be the bad guy. They want to be the villain. But the villains are never cool. The villains were really just there to make the good guys cool. You know what I mean? I mean, when I was growing up, all the cartoons, whatever it is, I mean, whatever cartoon it was, the villains were just there to, I'm gonna destroy the world and all of this shit. And it just made the good guys say, hey, yeah, you ain't gonna do shit. I'm gonna kick your ass. You know, and it was just cool. The good guys were cool. And now it's like it's all about the villains. I changed that up now. It's all about the good guys, man. The good guys, the good girls. It's all about that. And I'm just saying that innocence, we need that back. We need to harness that back. Doing good for your fellow neighbors, your fellow, you know, brothers and sisters, you know, your fellow friends, you know, just do right by everyone, you know, and that's what the world needs. We're looking for a president to do these things for us. We always looking for some savior. No, we gotta take the power back ourselves. We gotta change the world ourselves by each and every one of us contributing to making the world a better place, man. That's it. That's the key. That's the key. That's the innocence we're missing. Each one of us to take back the world by each of us contributing something better to the world. That's it, kidults. That's the secret. That's the power of innocence. And it starts just like me, like even with Trump. I know I was hard on Trump and me, I was hard on him in the beginning. Then I kind of like agreed with him, and then I was for him, and then I kind of, you know, he made some poor decisions in the first 6 months, but then I kind of fell back and said, you know what, I'ma just give the guy a chance. I mean, I know it kind of sounds hypocritical. You're like, man, how could he change it? He said this and he said that, and yeah, but I can change my mind too. And I'm just saying, I mean, I'm gonna give the guy a chance. He only got one more take on this. You know, 4 years, 3.5 or whatever, 3 and 4 months to do what he gotta do. So if he's either gonna do it or he's not. But the key thing is just to give the guy a chance. I mean, I think we all kind of wanted him to make those changes fast because the world is all fucked up. But you know, change takes time, and not every time you make a change, people are gonna agree with it. But in the end, I had to dial it back and, you know, humble myself and say, you know what, I'm gonna give the guy a chance. But the real change in this world is gonna happen with us, kiddos. Us, each and every one of us, contributing to the world to make the world a better place. That's how it happens. And that's all part of what I'm saying. And I wanted to say this in the beginning before we get to the toys, because I see it. And, you know, I'm looking at this too. When we was kids, right? And at least us Gen Xers, when we was kids, it was all the cartoons pretty much were your heroes. You know, because, you know, your first hero is always your mama and your daddy. You know, if they decide to take that course, because some mommies and daddies they become the villains quick once you get enough sense to figure them out. You're like, oh shit, you know. But some parents actually are, you know, do good by their kids, and they're your first heroes. Your daddy, that's your first hero, or your older brother, older sister, your mother. You know, those are your first heroes. And then it starts translating into other things, cartoons and characters you fall in love with. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that, like the cartoons, like how these cartoons really played an impact on us Gen Xers to inspire us to do good and to strive for good and to be the badass, cool ass fucking heroes that made the greatest films that we know today. All of the coolest film. That's why movies are no good today, because nobody's being the good guy. Everybody tries to be the good guy. They're depressed and upset, and they feel like, damn, why I gotta save people? Man, fuck that. I want to save people and fuck some shit up. That was the cool shit when you was Rambo and you could just blow some shit up and say fuck it, and I just saved 50 million people over there, but I just blew up this whole shit and fuck it. I'm standing there in the sun, cut up bloody and shit, man, smiling with a beer in my hand. You know what I mean? Cool shit, man. And I just want to get back to those, you know, those cartoons, man. Give you a little taste of those cartoons that was so cool on Saturday mornings that inspired the hero. Cartoons like the GoBots. for Josie and the Pussycats going out of space, and that's that. I don't remember the song. Or even the Fantastic Four before the Silver Surfer got a before the Silver Surfer got a sex change in this fucking movie that's coming out and shit. When the Fantastic Four was actually cool.
The Fantastic Four, starring Reed Richards, Sue Richards, Johnny Storm, Ben Grimm.
He's no longer our problem. We must prepare for Galactus.
Do you prepare him? I'm for Cloud.
He went off. Got to grab him.
Or Squiggly Diddly, man. That's fucking thing. I love the oddball like cartoons, the ones that had like one season or a few episodes and they just didn't work. But they were cool because they took a chance, like Squiddly Diddly with the fucking octopus that comes out and chills. And I think he's like with this guy in a theme park and all this crazy shit. But it was a cool, weird ass cartoon.
Pardon me, sir. Is this bathtub taken? Well, don't just sit there scrubbing your back. Say something. Help! You said the wrong thing.
Or even Heathcliff and Marmaduke. What a lovely pair. Oh, yeah, man. Yeah.
A lovable lapdog, big as a bear. Heathcliff's a daring dude, a sawed-off Robin Hood. He's nice to the mice, but he comes unglued when dogs intrude on his neck of the woods.
And what about Mighty Man and Yuck, man? This was a fucking weird-ass cartoon about this ugly-ass dog that he's so ugly he scared the shit out of everybody and they had to submit to him. And this little, like, Ant-Man superhero. Check this shit out.
Hello? What's that? Miss Makeup? She's escaping down Main Street? We're on our way. Duty calls, Yuck.
Gotcha! Oh, marvelous mighty master! Here we go!
Mighty! Mighty! Mighty man!
Even cool-ass cartoons from the 70s like Mission Magic, man.
Tut cat of ancient lore, 'tis time to draw the magic door. Oh, I'm sorry, Tut Tut. The watering pot was an accident. Ready, everybody? We sure are, Miss Tickle. Land of backward, here we come.
This is the part I don't like.
I love it. Whee!
And you know, kiddos, I'm all about the magic because I believe in magic. When I'm talking about magic, the magic that we all bring, the magic of creating your own world. See, that's the thing we don't seem to understand anymore today. We're the creators of our own world. Each one of us has the power to make our world cool. The people we take in our life, the people we fall in love with, the people we stay with and go through life's journeys with, the people we watch and the people we celebrate, the movies we see, the music we listen to. It's all about that. We're creating the world, but we always seem to be looking for someone else to do it for us or someone else to manage it. No, we're the authors of creating our own world, our own heaven and hell on this earth. And it always starts with the beauty of magic. Magic. Just being able to take something from nothing, because people always demonize magic and, the church, that's the church. The church is always full of shit. But I'm talking about the real magic. The magic that doesn't go out there and hurt people, the magic that creates all these wonderful things from the TV screen, or you're looking at me now, or video, or from the phones you're in, everything, all of this is all magic. Movie magic, all of it, it's all magic. It's all taking nothing and creating something. Magic. And we have that magic to make our worlds beautiful. And and I remember cartoons like Richie Rich, man. Oh shit, man. Richie Rich, man.
How rich can you get? You're never gonna know till you've met. This young boy, Richie Rich is his name. He's written up in the Rich Hall of Fame. His bank account is as rich as his name. That's rich, Richie Rich.
And Ricochet Rabbit and Droop Along.
Ricochet Rabbit speaking. No kidding. Is that so? Well, thanks for the information. So long. It's a hot tip, Droop. Mumbleweeds is gonna rob the train.
Sounds like he's up to something, Mr. Ricochet.
Good thinking. Come on, let's ricochet out of here.
All this ricocheting is making me rickety.
Too fucking cool, man. And even Sigmund and the Sea Monsters. I love oddball shit.
Sigmund, you're a rotten sea monster.
You're a disgrace to the family.
Go out and scare a human or you're through. Oh, come on.
Meanwhile, back on the beach, Johnny and Scott are combing the rocks, unaware that behind them Sigmund lurks, prepared to give them a shock.
And even Saber Riders. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. Magilla Gorilla, come on, man. Hanna-Barbera played such a significant role in my life as a child. I mean, like, all their cartoons were cool. I don't care if they were 1 season or 3 season or popular like Scooby-Doo. All of them brought something cool, different, and that cool-ass flavor that only Hanna-Barbera can bring.
Uh-oh! Hey, what is this? A pet shop or a hot dog stand? Help!
Oh, no, not again. That's the 3rd broken window this month.
This plate glass gets flimsier and flimsier.
A letter for Mr. Magilla Gorilla.
Hey, that's me.
I wonder what kind of people write letters to gorillas.
And one of my last cartoons I'm gonna mention was Tom and Jerry, man. I love Tom and Jerry. When I was a kid, I used to watch this all the time with my mother on Saturdays and whenever it showed up. And we just watched every episode, and it was just so cool, man. I loved it. All right, so now that I took you on that long journey, I had to do it. Just take this journey with me. What is it gonna hurt? It's all fun. So now that I took you on that journey of recapturing our innocence and all of those goodies, now we're gonna get down to why we really came here, and that's for today's toy haul. So are you ready? I am, so let's do this damn thing. So all right, on today's haul, I went a little crazy this episode. I really did. I definitely lived up to the name of ToyCrazy. I bought a lot of shit, trying to build up my collection of stuff. So here, we are getting into it. But today we're going to do a little something different. We're going to talk about records, man. I'm trying to build my record collection back up because I just bought me one of those, record players and shit, the ones that it's like you could put tapes in there and a record. I bought one of them shits off of Amazon. So, I'm trying to build back my record collection up. For some of you guys that don't know what records are and that kind of stuff, when we was teeny boppers and we went to the record store, it was Tower Records, or it was a couple of stores, but it was some mom and pop stores too that were cool. And you would go to these stores and you would find your favorite musicians and pick out the records, or I would buy cassette tapes sometimes of their stuff, or CDs when you had it like that, but that was the coolest time, man. You walk around looking for your records, your CDs, or your tapes, man, of your favorite artists, and then you just can't wait to go back and put it on the device so you can listen to it, man. The good old days. But you know what? The good old days still exist for me because I never let that shit go because I'm a kiddo. I can't let it go. I'm a Toys R Us kid. I can't grow up. So anyway, we're going to start off with one of my favorite groups, man. Deep Purple, man. Deep Purple. Yeah. Yeah. Yo, Deep Purple was like this fucking cool ass band, man. They made Highway Star. They had so many fucking hits, man. I mean, hit after hit. They was just the fucking coolest band, man. Had this thrash, kind of hardcore metal, man. I just fucking ate it up, chewed it up, devoured it, and I came back wanting more, man. Next up, the man himself, Bob Marley. And you know what's so funny, man? When you look at Bob Marley, look at him. He just smoking them tweeds, man. He wasn't ashamed of that shit. He was smoke that up, man. Smoke a fatty for me, man. Smoking the weed, man. Oh, God. And for those of you guys who followed me back in the Screaming Terror days, I've never been ashamed of saying I smoke weed. I still hold that flag real high. I smoke weed. I'm not ashamed of it. And that's just a part of me. I love to get high, cut loose, and go into the twilight zone. But I'm going to share a story with you, kiddos, because I said I was going to do this, so I'm going to do it. True story. You know how I came about weed, kiddos? I used to go to art and design high school. I took up commercial art before I took up like graphic arts and, animation and all that type of shit. But anyway, I knew this kid when he came in at 9th grade when I was in the 10th grade. And his name was Pee Wee, but you know him as Prodigy from Mobb Deep, that, hardcore rap group and shit, Mobb Deep. But before he was famous, he was Pee Wee to me. I knew him and Havoc, and we used to be in a gang. Yes, kiddo. I was in the Uncle Terra, didn't get this name by chance. I was in the gang called the 40 Crew. This is where the group where Mobb Deep got their name. It was a lot of us, right? So to make a long story short, Pee Wee, he used to take these he used to get this cigar box from somebody in his house. I think it was his dad or somebody he stole it from. And he would bring it to school and it would have these little roach clips, which was just, weed they smoked. Somebody smoked it and clipped it because they want to save it because, weed is expensive sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So they would clip it and he would steal this shit and bring these roaches in the box to the school. So we would break out of school and go to a nearby park, nearby art and design, and we would go smoke weed. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I end up getting into weed. It was from Prodigy from Mobb Deep that put me onto this stuff. And just to talk a little bit about him, he was cool to me because he was like this little guy and he was like a little hard rock. And I used to get a kick out of him because he talked a lot of shit and he was a little badass, but you could tell he was a hothead, but it was whatever. We put him in the crew. So anyway, I could go on and on about stories with stuff I knew and experiences I've had with him and Havoc and all of that, but I'm not gonna get into that. I'm gonna keep it to the toy thing, but give you a close-up of the album. You can't be a Rastafarian and don't come with accessories. You know what your accessory is? Your hat and your weed. Next up, Rainbow. Rainbow is a fucking cool-ass group, man. I love this group. I love all of their songs, man. It's too many songs to mention, and I don't want to say one because I feel like I'm cheating all the other ones. I love them all. Great fucking band. And I remember Dio, man. He was such a fucking cool singer, man. He really brought that gothic Dungeons and Dragons theme to the whole thing, and then he did his own thing after that. Rainbow is one of the fucking coolest rock bands, man. Next up, Jimi Hendrix, man. Check this shit out, man. Are You Experienced? Look at this album, man. They're experienced now because they're fucking high, man. Look at that shit, man. The motherfuckers is high, man. But look at the back of the cover, man. Tell me this motherfucker. Tell me all of them, they were all fucking stoned, man. They was on that grass. They was all high, man. Next up, my favorite, Led Zeppelin, man. I love this album, man. And I know this album could probably be offensive to some people because it's naked kids on it. But I'm like, I don't believe in that shit, man. You know, because it's kids, man. They could be naked. It's only perverted if your head is perverted, man. I love this. This is like a beautiful album cover, man. I'm totally not offended by it. Show you the back. Man, Led Zeppelin was so fucking cool. There's like this movie out called Becoming Led Zeppelin. I totally understand like the journey of what it took to become Led Zeppelin. You know, people rejecting you, people not understanding you, you coming out with something new, you trying something new, and they don't get it. But then after time, they do. Very cool. And we're going to head over to Hasbro and check out their Dungeons and Dragons series, man.
Hey, look! A Dungeons and Dragons ride! Wow, neat!
Give me a break.
Whoa! What's happening?
Whoa!
Where are we?
Who was that?
That was Venger, the force of evil. I am Dungeon Master, your guide in the realm of Dungeons and Dragons.
You know, I really love this cartoon, man. This was like my Saturday morning cartoon. Because what I loved about Saturday mornings is that it was for us kids. It wasn't for the adults. You know, you went to school, you had to get good grades or whatever, or at least try to. You know, really you went there to hang out with your friends and have a good time and shit. But you know, you had to pretend like you wanted to get good grades so you can please your parents, so you can please the system and grow up to be a good slave. Saturdays was for kids. It was for us. And they had the coolest cartoons on Saturday. Cartoons today suck. They really do. But cartoons when we was growing up as Gen Xers was absolutely cool. And Dungeons and Dragons was on the top of the list for me. So we're going to start off with Hank. Hank was a cool character. I really liked his character because he was level-headed. He was a good leader. He was brave, you know, very smart. I really liked him. And he knew how to manage everybody in his team, you know. Very cool character, man. And I love the box art. It looks really cool. Every one of these characters or figures come with a dice because, you know, it's Dungeons and Dragons. It's a game, you know, so it's very cool, man. Give you a close-up look at the box. Turn it around. Very nice. Next up, it's Diana. Remember that Dirty Diana? No. Remember that shit? I think it was Michael Jackson. Dirty Diana. No, I know I ain't singing it right, and if I'm not, and you're offended, well, fuck you. But anyway, she was a good leader too, you know, and then she had like on these straw panties and shit and her old outfit, because you know, she's a brown bunny. So you know they had to like show her curve. She got the total Star Trek or horror treatment. You know, they had to show off her body because, you know, they can't just have her with a skirt. No, none of that. She had to have on straw panties and all of that shit and be jumping around, be athletic with booties out, legs out, thighs out, all that, titties bopping, all of that cool shit, because she was just absolutely gorgeous and she was a cool ass character. All right, next up we're gonna go with Sheila. I thought Sheila was cool. She was cute. And look at the outfit she got on. I mean, like, they got away with a lot of shit in these 80s cartoons, man. Look at this outfit. Even look at the artwork on the box, man. What's going on with that skirt, man? I mean, what's going on over there? You see what I'm saying? I mean, like, look at that. Look at them legs and that small ass skirt. Oh, a quick breeze and panties is out. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what's going on over there? She got this cool ass outfit. And then you kind of imagine what would be like having sex with her. Because what if she just put on her cloak? You know, she could be naked, but then have the cloak, just the cloak on, and you be banging her out and shit, and then she'd be invisible, and you're like, damn, this feels good, but I can't see you. You know, I can't, you know, I gotta see you. Alright, man, let's get on with it. Turn it around. Bada boom, bada bing. Done. Next up, Eric. Eric was a cool character, and my mother used to watch these Saturday morning cartoons with me. And Eric was her favorite character, and mine's too, because he was funny. Like, he was funny. He was like the comedy relief character. But what I liked about Eric, he was the most honest character in the whole thing. Like, you know, he made it like very clear that he didn't like being here. He didn't like doing all these stupid quests that the dungeon master would put him up to. You know, he wasn't for that shit. He just wanted to go home and eat some burgers and shit. Then he was like a rich preppy. So he was just the coolest character on the show. And he was the most expensive out of buying this whole set. Next up, Presto. That's right. Presto was another cool character. He was lovable, but he was a fuck up. You know, like he couldn't get no spells right. He barely ever got anything right, you know, but you loved him because, you know, that's like real life, you know, like that's the cool thing about what I love about this cartoon, because everybody had their own quirks and their own things about them, but they all work together for the greater good. But he also reminds me, or there's a actor that played in A Nightmare on Elm Street 3 that played the wizard. He always, I don't know if they based Presto off of his character or he was based off of Presto, you know, in that movie, man. But check this shit out.
It's a fair for you, kid.
I am the wizard master. I am the wizard master.
Sorry, kid. I don't believe in fairy tales.
Die, you fucking geek. Yeah, but man, Presto was just definitely a cool character. Next up, Bobby and Uni. So this one is a cool toy because it comes with two characters. You know, you can't have Bobby without Uni, you know. So anyway, but Bobby, they did him justice because he was a very strong character. Because when he had that fucking club, man, that caveman club, if he hit something, that was your ass. Or, you know, if he hit the floor, you know, you falling down. He was a very cool character and very brave. Next up is the last toy of this series is Dungeon Master and Cringer. It's a mashup, but very cool mashup. You got the good and you got the evil. But you know, looking at this in hindsight, the Dungeon Master, I think, was kind of evil on the low. Or he definitely was like a trickster or some shit. Because think about it. Dungeon Master had the power to send these kids back. But he never did. You know, it was like the Dungeon Master was like, he was dirty. He was like, yo, I'm going to take these kids and I'm going to pimp them out. You know, I'm going to have them do the dirty work for me. You know, I got a couple of missions. You know, I'm always taking in, you know, saving the day. You know, I'm gonna take these kids from another dimension and, you know, put them to work. Have them do some work for me. So I'm gonna give them some powers, and then I'm gonna send them on some quests and let them solve these mysteries and shit. You know what I mean? That's what he did. So, you know, it's like every episode was that theme. All right, moving on.
Can I come in, little T?
Sure, Big T.
I thought we might have a little talk. You know, like head to head.
Sure, what about?
Well, I'm really flattered that you tried to look like me to impress that girl.
I even glued some hair on my chest.
Wow, that's more than what I got.
Yes, we gonna move over to Mr. T, man. I found this shit on eBay, man. Mr. fucking T, the real life hero.
Mr. T, he's got legs and moves. He's side. He's got arms that move and fists full of rings. You can't pretend that Mr. T is real tough and mean. Mr. T, Mr. T, Mr. T by Galoob.
That's right, Mr. T. All of that shit, man. But look at the toy, though. Mr. T got the biggest fucking head, man. Look at that head. It's like totally disproportioned from his body and shit. His head is like, he's like the headmaster. He's thinking about shit right now. He's thinking about why I'm talking about that shit. Look at his fucking head. God damn. But he looks cool in his, like, his overalls and shit. His overalls and shit. Treat him right. Treat your mother right. Remember that song he did and shit? Ow.
Treat her right. Treat your mother right. Treat her right. Treat her right. Treat her right. Treat your mother right. Treat her right. Treat her right.
Mother, there is no other like mother, so treat her right. Mother, I always love her. My mother, so treat her right.
I'm gonna show you the box. All his gold glitter and shit. Even glitter gold sticker on the box. Turn it around. Real life superhero. They wasn't lying. And I remember that cheesy ass fucking cartoon. Remember that cartoon? Man, let me tell you something. I love this cartoon so much. Bad years ago, I had did a cartoon called The Grandma Trigger and Mr. T Show.
Hello, I'm Grandma Trigger. And I told you I wasn't going away. I'm Mr. T. And we want to welcome you to our show. Now, we review movies, old movies, new movies, and different things like that. But what I wanna get you to understand is we don't discriminate. We just review movies, whether they be old or new. So here it is. Come on. Hey, I'm Mr. T, and I'm coming to you people to lay out the truth. Now, me personally, I think that having these guest stars on here and having our own show, we can be able to tell you how we really feel about the movies. Instead of just us telling you what we think about it, we can actually get stars or people from the series or people that have something to do with the product to come out there and talk about the TV show or the movie or whatever it is that we reviewing. So now, I'm going to tell you, I pity the fool that don't watch this because you get the truth right here, right now. Okay? So here you go.
Yeah, so here, okay, show you the back of the box. Very cool. I even got my Mr. T cereal fresh, man, right here, man. Come on, man, it's part of a complete breakfast.
And who's teaming up with a good balanced breakfast?
Teaming up with Mr. T cereal. It's getting on the team that knows how cool breakfast can be. You get a crispy corn taste with a touch of brown sugar. Teaming up with Mr. T.
It's cool.
You know what's a strange thing I found odd looking back in hindsight? Mr. T always had to get drugged out to like go on flights or certain missions or certain things because Mr. T didn't want to do it. So Mr. T really didn't have a choice. He was like a slave on the team and shit.
Where we going?
Keep on going. We're gonna turn right up here.
I ain't going no airport, Hannibal. I ain't gonna fly with that crazy fool Murdoch.
Turn right up there.
What you doing, sucker?
I think I'll get out for a minute.
What's going on here? This road leads directly to the airport, Hannibal.
This road is nowhere near the airport.
What's going on? Will somebody please tell me what's going on?
You lied to me.
Lied? Me?
I told you what I was gonna do to you next time you try to take me on the airplane, didn't I?
Please, what is going on?
Now, B.A., you're gonna have one of your anxiety blackouts.
Next up, the Masters of the Universe Origins, Castle Grayskull. Yeah.
What do we have here?
It's Castle Grayskull.
And it's mine.
Not so fast, Beastman.
He-Man!
You can pit He-Man against Beastman playing for the power of Castle Grayskull. You have to put the castle together.
Beastman's escaping.
The throne, Dad. Dad, you saved the castle.
Castle Grayskull from the Masters of the Universe collection. He-Man and Beastman, each sold separately from Mattel.
And I know, Kidults, I was kind of hard on the, Masters of the Universe Origins, but that was just because the main characters is what it's all about. Skeletor and He-Man, right? Or He-Man and Skeletor. And I didn't like the way the faces look and the bodies. It was like they was coming back in it and they was kind of off for all of these years and they just made them look like a cheap Chinese knockoff, man. It just didn't look right. But now they fixed it. They got like the old He-Man face on there, which is better when he looks like he's up to something. He ready to hand. He got that like barbarian face. Very cool now. And look at this box. It's massive, man. And it comes with like all in white version of the sorceress with her white panties and shit. Anyway, look at the box, man. Very cool. This box is big and massive, man. I love it. Fucking beautiful art, man. Let me turn it around for you. Nice, man. Look at this. And I'm not opening it. I'm not taking it out of the box, but I'll show you a picture of what it looks like in the inside. Very cool. Got all the, places you can put your figures, you know what I'm saying? Couple of gadgets and all kinds of goodies in there. Show you the back of the box. Look at that, man. Nice, man. Mattel, gotta give it to him, man. They really did a great job on this series, man. I'm really digging it. Next up, the Terradrome. Damn, look at this shit. Another massive box, man. Very cool.
The turtles are assaulting the Technodrome. Inside are the Foot Clan's weapon storage chamber, Krang's laboratory, and Shredder's master control room. Huh? Turtles? Oh, they've been spotted. Now they'll have to watch out for the I Spy radar, that hidden ooze pit, the spike back door. Turtle soup time. Oh no, an ooze scanner, a brain scrambler, and mutant manacles. Can Leonardo rescue them? Sure hope so. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. From Playmate.
Man, this box is really cool. Looks like the original, but the toy is actually smaller than the original one, like a little smaller, but it's still cool, man. I mean, like I said, for me, it's not that deep. It's all about the nostalgia and the memories, like as a kid when you had this toy, or if you didn't have the toy, but now here's your second chance. It's all fresh. This is virgin territory for me. Look at that. All kinds of stuff going on in this shit, man. Look at that. Nice, man. Next up, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles van, man. You gotta have the van, man. I love the box. The graphics is nice. They did a great job on this shit, man. Playmates really knocked it out of the park. Bringing back that nostalgia for all of us fans. Look at that. Nice, man. Turn it around. Look at the back. You can trick it out, put your figures all kinds of ways, have them leaning out, chilling. Very fucking cool. Next up, Spider-Woman.
While visiting her father's laboratory, was bitten by a poisonous spider. Forced to try an untested spider serum, Dr. Drew not only saved his daughter's life, but unknowingly gave her incredible spider-like powers. Dedicated to fighting evil while weaving her web of justice, it's Spider-Woman.
It wasn't exactly like the comic book, but it was still a cool cartoon, man. I liked it. So Kenner and Marvel, they got their Marvel's Legends series, and they got Spider-Woman, and she looks fucking badass in that suit. Sexy. She's a sexy mama. Badass in that motherfucking suit, man. Look at that shit. You go, girl. You go, baby cakes. Very cool. Give you a close-up look, and she looking badass in that suit. Ready to get down with it. Turn it around. Nice. That's right, the Incredible Hulk, man. I'm telling you, man, cartoons were so cool in the 80s. And every Saturday, I just look forward to watching the Incredible Hulk, man. Definitely one of my favorites. And of course, Marvel Legends got the Incredible Hulk, man. Very cool figure, nice, all bulky and stupid looking. But you know what, man? Not for nothing, as a creator, you know, we all get inspired by other creators or other creations or things like that. It's just the truth. We all do. And I think Stan Lee was inspired by Frankenstein, and he actually came up with this character, the Hulk, when he came up with it. He was like, he watched Frankenstein one day, and he was like, you know what? I'm going to trick Frankenstein out. I'm going to give him muscles and a backstory and give him a dual personality, and we got the Incredible fucking Hulk.
Spider-Man and his amazing friends, Iceman and Firestar.
That's right, man. Spider-Man and his amazing friends, man. This oddball team. But isn't it cool, though? All of the great characters, even in real life, you're always odd. I'm odd. You know, you got to be odd in this world. You got to be different to stand out. Because if you're like everybody else, you're just not cool. And Peter Parker was just that. All right, we're going to check out Spider-Man. Nice looking figure. Colors are popping. Very nice. Nice artwork. But I don't know if some of you guys know about this 70s show, which was like a Japanese takeoff the American, called Spider-Man, right? The Japanese version of Spider-Man in there. He was mad cool. He had like fucking a cool ass car. He had a tricked out car and shit. He could turn into a giant mech robot and shit, man. I mean, he had all kinds of gadgets. He was like Spider-Man meets Inspector Gadget, man. He was fucking cool, man.
拓也は人間の数倍の回復能力がある。負傷してもたちまち元通りに治ってしまうのだ。
壁登りたっさんみたいにビル渡るかっこいいなスパイダーマン
うまいよお姉ちゃん結構面白いよね
そこでおいらの武器
何するのよお兄ちゃん
俺はこの歌が大嫌いなんだよ渡るかっこいいなスパイダーマンアップラーちゃんスパイダーマンそこでおいらの武器お尻振る
Close-up look. Very cool. Back of the box. All right. Now we're going to go on to Firestar. Yeah, look at her, man. Looking sexy in that fucking outfit. Too cool.
Firestar knows she's the one Siberiad is after. No matter how great the odds, everything depends on her.
Man, Firestar was badass. Look at that fucking tight-ass outfit. You know, if I was Peter Parker, man, I have to get with that, man. I'm like, man, you too hot, man. You get in that. I mean, don't use your power, though, because I don't want to burn up, but just let me do something. Let me heat you up in another way. Look at the box. Very nice. Love the way the figure looks. Very cool. That's right. It's good old Dodo Iceman. Iceman was a cool character, but he was like a goober. He was real stupid and a lackey and shit, and he was always kind of fighting Peter Parker for the affections of Firestar. But I'm like, come on, man. You know, she knows she got to go with Peter Parker, man. At least he got brains. You know what I'm saying? What you gonna do? What kind of conversation you gonna have with that doofus Iceman? Come on now. Good to go.
Splinter the Rat taught them each the ninja arts. Donatello, master of the staff. War! Leonardo, the katana blade.
My goodness!
Raphael, the
Don't
scythe.
throw this at home, kids!
And Michelangelo, the nunchakus.
Radical! And master of the willing pizza. Hey, who had the pepperoni and ice cream?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. From Playmates.
All right, next up is the Ninja Turtles, man. I bought like the character. I bought the play set, so I gotta get the characters, man. So I bought this set. It comes with all 4 figures. Very cool. It got Donatello, Michelangelo, Raphael, and Leonardo all together in one pack. Very fucking cool. And it looks like the original figures, man. All coming with their pizzas and their non-usable weapons that they don't use and shit.
Welcome to another adventure of
Batman. But I did mention to you guys in one episode before that if there was a story to go with these toys, I'm going to tell you the story. So I'm going to tell you this story because it goes with it. Now, it's kind of a long story, but I'm a wrap it up because I actually met one of the artists, the creator, one of the creators that created the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I believe it was Eastman. It was the one that was going with the model that was from the second movie of Heavy Metal 2, like Vac or whatever. She had like the red costume. This was back in the 90s. I was doing a comic book show in Madison Square Garden and 34th Street. It was a big deal. There was a lot of people there. Billy D. Williams was there. The cast of Blade Runner was there. Not the whole cast, not Harrison Ford or Sean Young, but just like the Rutger Hauer and the villain. He was there, and I don't know, maybe somebody else. And there was other people there, the Hurricane, the wrestler, the Hurricane, and other people was there. So it was kind of a big deal. And I was, I bought a table at the Artist Alley. Me and some friends of mine, they bought a table too. I got on the line and I was like ahead of my friends. So I was like next to Eastman and George Perez, that was the famous Marvel Comics artist. And these were like some heavy hitters, man. These were idols, you got Eastman, who was an independent guy turned famous from the Ninja Turtles, independent like me. So this was like an idol for me. I'm like, wow, here he is right here in the flesh. And I'm actually having a conversation with him, and I'm just like listening and talking, and I'm like kind of all in the Twilight Zone, just like high off of this shit, because I'm just talking and I'm acting like I knew him for 5 years straight, and I didn't, you know what I'm saying? It was crazy, you know what I'm saying? I'm having this conversation with him and George Perez. Eastman, he's talking about yachts and shit. I don't know about yachts. I'm a starving artist. I'm staying at a boarding house, saving up my money for books, and so I could go to the show and sell them. I don't know nothing about yachts. I'm trying to get there, but I ain't there. So this was cool. He's talking about all of this shit, and George Perez is talking about things, and George Perez was a cool guy. So they was both cool, and I'm just like on cloud 9, just having a conversation with these guys, and I'm like, they talking to me like they know me, and I'm like, I'm talking to them like I know them, and I'm like, okay, this is different. So we get in. I get my table. Sitting next to me on the left-hand side of me was James Omar, the one that Obar, I think his name was, James Obar. He was the creator of The Crow. He did the graphic novel that became the hit movie that Brandon Lee starred in, and sadly enough, died, making that movie. He was a cool guy, very somber, kind of like distant, kind of semi-introverted, but I don't care. He's an artist. We all have our quirks as artists, On the other side of me, on the right-hand side of me, was my friends Jose and Matt. Both of them worked on the Tenchu Mui comic book series, and now they were doing their own thing at the table. So anyway, we, the show's on, it's like a crowd of people, man. It's like so many people came to the show that literally I got sick. Like I used to suffer with like motion sickness. When I used to drive as a kid across country and stuff like that, I used to have to sit by the window, have the window open so I can breathe, because I used to get, the motion would, get me nauseous and all of that shit. I'm good now. I'm all better now. But back then, I still had it. So all of these people are just passing us by, and lots of people passing by, and I'm just like getting dizzy. I mean, literally, I had to tell my friends to wash the table. I ran to the bathroom and fucking puked my ass off, wiped it off, came back and doing the table. So across from me was like 2 chicks. There was a ginger, aka a sexy redheaded, beautiful chick, and a beautiful blonde that was her friend. They came together. And they came together with some other artists that was sitting next to my friend's table. over there, right? But I didn't know that at the time. So anyway, I'm doing the table, and people are just passing by, like nobody's buying anything. So I'm like, look, I gotta break this shit up, man. So I took a brown paper bag, which I still have to this day. Brown paper bag, drew a face on it and a body and shit, and then I started talking to people and trying to get their attention. I was being nutty. I'm nutty like that, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just talking to people with the puppet, the brown paper bag puppet. So she ends up coming over and she just stopped by and she just was laughing and having a good time with me and shit. So this was like crazy because we were just really having a good time, and I was flirting with her with the puppet and shit and giving her kisses with it and all kinds of shit. So, she ends up buying some books and, just talking to me. And it was like weird. It was like this really like deep connection that actually happened, that took place at that time. And it's weird because when those type of connections come, and take my advice, kiddos, when they come, be smart about it. So after she bought the books and she walked off and she talked to her friend, and her blonde friend was like kind of giving her like a prep talk or something. Like she was like, what are you doing? So there was like this kind of weird energy that was going on while the whole time while the show was happening. I'm selling my books now. I'm doing good. And I could feel daggers coming at me from my right-hand side from my friends. And then I found out it was from the guys that her boyfriend, my friend like stopped me for a second. He said, hey man, don't you know that girl, that her boyfriend, man? He got a table over there. You talking to somebody else's girl. I'm like, wow, I didn't know that, man. She was just a customer to me and she was hot, so that was that. So I didn't take, it wasn't like a big deal. So I didn't sweat all of that, right? So the guy, he comes over real quick and he has to introduce himself and size me up. But it was like, whatever, man. I don't give a fuck, man. Because I wasn't trying to talk to your girl. It was just, I was just being a good salesman and we was having a good time. So fuck off. So anyway, he walks off, but he was still a cool guy though. So the whole time, kiddos, she was over there, but she was staring at me the whole time. I mean, she could not keep her eyes. She had these beautiful green eyes. She was absolutely beautiful. Perfect body, beautiful face. And I'm talking about the kind of beauty that no lie. Everybody, at most of the guys at that show was trying to holler at her. And I'm talking about everybody, including the Hurricane, this wrestler at the time. And he wanted her really bad. He was, almost to the bad point where he was like literally stalking her. So it was all of these guys, they all wanted her, right? But she was just staring at me. It was like this weird, really odd connection. And I'm telling you, kiddos, when that shit happens, when the universe gives you that, run with it. You don't even have to know why. It's just there and it's powerful. This chemistry is there. I'm feeling it. She's feeling it. So finally the show's over. I made a lot of money. I'm happy. I'm ready to spend some money now and go to some of these toy dealers and get me some toys and shit. So I close up my table, put the boxes and everything underneath the table, and I'm walking around. And guess who shows up? Beautiful old Ginger shows up as sexy as a motherfucker, man. I know she suffered with this. Everybody's eyes were just all over her. Women hated on her. Guys just gotta have her. All of that shit. She comes over to me. And then she talks to me at first. And she's like, well, I shouldn't walk with you because my boyfriend is mad that I came to your table and I talked to you and all this stuff. So she was telling me all of this stuff. And I'm like, I said, we didn't do anything wrong. You just bought some books and we was just talking. And she's like, I know. It's just, but he was really upset and blah, blah, blah. And my friend's upset and everybody's mad at me. And she's telling me this stuff. And I'm like, look, you don't have to be ashamed. You didn't do anything wrong. It's not a big deal. So she was like, look, I want to walk around, but I don't want to be alone. She was like, the Hurricane, he keeps trying to holler at me and all this other type of shit. So she said, you don't mind walking with me? I said, yeah, I don't fucking care. So she grabs me up tight, grabs onto my arm, man. And I'm like, I'm like high on the hog, man. I'm like fucking floating. I'm like, God damn, you know what I'm saying? Like this chick is gorgeous as fuck, man. Perfect body, everything, walking with me like I'm her man for 5 years straight. I'm her soulmate, so to speak. You know what I mean? It was wild. So we're walking around. And, all the people are hating. All the guys are hating that couldn't talk to her and she would just ignore them. All of the girls are hating. Everybody's hating. My friends are hating. Her boyfriend's yeah, fucking hate, you bastards. Hate. They fucking hating and shit. We walking around. I'm looking at shit. I see. I run up back with Eastman at his table with his model Fack or whatever her name is. I don't know what her name is. She was there. But before I get to the end of this, a couple of things happened that was cool real quick. Number one, I met Billy D. Williams. Billy D. Williams, when I was puking in the bathroom, when I came out, I ran into him on the way going back to my table. He was like a little guy. He was short. I mean, I'm not the tallest guy in the world. I'm average height, but, he was a little guy. I was like, compared to me, I was like, wow, Billy D, but he's so little, Mr. Colt 45.
There are two rules to remember if you want to have a good time. Rule number 1, never run out of Colt 45. Rule number 2, never forget rule number 1. You want to know why you should keep plenty of Colt 45 on hand? You never know when friends might show up.
My friends played a trick on him. They ran to the store, bought up some Colt 45 bottles, and had him sign that shit at the show, man. I couldn't see it, but I heard about it. They told me, and they filmed it. That shit is too cool. And then I met Rutger Hauer, man, and the villain of Blade Runner. So I went over there, and I said, let me get your signature. I had a VHS tape of Blade Runner, right? Special edition. So I wanted them to sign it. So he said $60. I said, $60? Get the fuck out of here, right? I really said this shit to him. And he was like a tall guy. He had to be like 6'2", 6'3". I don't know. He was tall. He was like, what? And then he got offended. And I said, $60 is a lot of money. I said, is there like we could work out a deal? I ran to my table, got $60 worth of my book, ran back, gave it to him, and said, look, bam, here you go. $60 worth of books. Can you sign this now? Now, he signed it, but he signed it reluctantly, and he was kind of upset. But the other guy, he got a kick out of that shit. The villain of Blade Runner, the short guy with the glasses that got killed he got his eyes gouged out. He was rolling, man. He was laughing at the whole shit. All of the people at the table was laughing. And I was laughing too, but I didn't give a fuck. He signed it. Fuck you. I got my signature. So anyway, getting back to the chick. We walking past there. So we having a good time, checking everything out. And, she's really holding on to me tight, man. So I was like, okay, she gave me her number. I gave her my number and, said, well, let's just keep in touch, man. I said, you don't have to feel bad. We just be friends, man. Just keep in touch. That's how I ended it. On the drive back to Queens with my friends that had their table, man, they was getting on me the whole fucking drive back. Why did you talk to her? Why did you do that? Why are you going to talk to somebody else's girl and all of this stuff like this? And I'm like, yo, you got this whole shit wrong. We was just cool. We enjoyed each other's company. You taking this somewhere else, blah, blah, blah. Fuck off. It's not that deep. But guess who calls me? So she calls me like a couple of days later. She tells me she breaks off with the guy, right? So I'm like, okay, I smell an opening here. I smell it. Smells good too. Smells like ginger. Telling me why she broke up. Like, so, she telling me her mother was a racist and, she didn't really like that he was Spanish. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm Spanish too, So I'm like a little bit off on this shit, right? So I'm like, what is she saying here? But she's still trying to talk to me. And then I could tell, I kind of got the impression, I got the feeling of what she felt for me. That shit it escalated to the max. But I could tell the devil stepped in and she made the wrong choice. And she put some walls up. And I said, damn, I know she probably regretting that shit now. Because when people like that come across, you just don't want to turn that off. You know what I'm saying? And she turned it off because her mother was, overbearing, and she was kind of fickle, you could tell that she didn't have enough courage to make up her own mind of what she wants to do. That would have probably been some soulmate shit. It never happened, so I always take it. If it didn't happen, it wasn't meant to happen. So that's my story, so let's move on. So yeah, we're gonna start off with Michelangelo, give you a quick look at the box. Next up comes Donatello. I like Donatello, he was a very cool character. Definitely one of my favorites out of the four. Next up, we're gonna look at Leonardo with his pizza and his swords and shit, swords he'll never use. Very cool, man. I love the box, man. I love the nostalgia of the old, cheesy looking toy with the big ass grins they have. They have these big ass teeth, big ass grins and shit. Back of the box. Next up, Raphael, the ghetto thug life version of the Turtles and shit. Thug life forever. Back of the box. Very cool, man. I was glad to get this, man. This was cool to get the whole set instead of just buying them individually. And last but not least, the Smurfs, man. Preferably Grouchy Smurf.
Far, very far from here, some 2,000 miles away. That's where they live and work and play.
looking everywhere, 'cause Gargamel will catch you if he can. Ooh, I hate Smurfs. I'll get you. I'll get all of you if it's the last thing I ever do.
I love the Smurfs, man. I love the Smurfs. I do, man. The Smurfs is so cool, man. You can't even talk about the 80s or 80s cartoons without mentioning those little blue bastards, the Smurfs, man. So there you go. Very cool, you little bastard. There you go. Very cool. Give you a closer look. Look, you look all fucking upset. You know, he had a bad day. It was a Friday for him. It was a bad day, not a good day. But you know, the Smurfs was very cool. I don't know if you guys remember this episode of the Smurfs when it was like, enough. When they turned purple, they turned into like evil Smurfs and they was purple and shit. And whenever they would touch each other, they would be gritting at the teeth and shit, be like, enough and shit. And they would hop around. That was one of my favorite fucking episodes, man.
I must find the proper formula to help poor Lazy.
Yeah! Ow! The purple Smurf bit me!
So anyway, you got Grouchy Smurf over here chilling. He's upset. He's mad at the world.
Man, you know, I tried to holler at Smurfette, man, but she don't want to talk to me, man. I don't know why. Why she don't want to talk to me? I'm a nice guy, maybe, kind of, sort of. I don't know. I have good days, maybe, or maybe I just hide it. I don't know. Why she don't want to give me no love, man?
And then you get Brainy Smurf over there. Papa Smurf always said, that's his stash. You ain't supposed to mess with that. He's the head coach. He's got to hit that. Nobody else. And make that a lesson for you kids. You have to Smurf. And then I got the conceited Smurfette with the mirror and shit. She's like, I'm the beautifulest, most sexiest, most well-endowed Smurfette of them all. Now, Papa Smurf always said, you should never be vain. Shut up! Then you got the Travel Channel cooking Smurf over here. He like, yo, man, I'm finna holla at Smurfette, man. I got some pies in the oven. Hey, Smurfette, what's up, man? What's up, girl? I don't like cooks. Go away. Then you got old Tex Smurf over here, old country, old bumpkin Smurf and shit. Let me see if I can get that filly to come over to my stable. Hey, Smurfette, how you doing there, sexy mama? I don't like country bumpkins. Get out of here. Damn. I'm so Smurfy. And Papa Smurf like, yeah, man, I appreciate that. Because, you know, they always trying to holler at you when I'm tinkering with these potions, man. I got some bat wings in here and some fucking olive oil and some oregano and shit. You ready? Yes, Papa Smurf. And I was waiting for you so we could get it on. I know I heard some Smurfs around here. Ooh, I hate the Smurfs. I'll find them. Yeah. Yeah, some fucking Smurfs.
Man, I just finished smoking some weed, and man, I know these commercials are gonna be off the wall, because everything's good on weed, man. We'll be back after these messages.
May I help you, sir?
If I wanted a Whopper and asked you to hold the pickles and hold the lettuce, would I get to hear you sing?
No, sir. You'd get to hear us sing.
Hold the pickle, hold the lettuce, special orders, don't upset us. All we ask is that you let us serve it your way.
Hey, you got one big hit.
Well, the Whopper's one big hamburger.
Have it your way. Come on now. Have it your way. Have it your
Papa Smurf! Gargamel stole all of our food, and I'm so hungry I could eat a house!
I'll make something Smurfalicious.
What's Smurfy magic? Look, new Smurf popped up from Chef Boyardee.
It's Smurfy good for you.
There's even Papa Smurf's special sauce!
Wow, Smurfy shape, too.
You rats! Out-Smurfed again!
Thank goodness for Chef Boyardee!
It's Smurfy good.
And now, this message.
My little pony, baby pony. They're such cute ponies, everyone. My little pony, baby pony. Baby cotton candy. Baby moon dancer. I love to feed you with baby firefly. And put on your little diaper too. Each sold separately. My little pony, baby pony. You're like a dream. I love you, my baby pony. You're like My Little Pony Baby Firefly comes with everything you see here. Other baby ponies sold separately from Hasbro. Let's get him to leave so we can play. Bunny, want to ride my new bike?
No thanks.
Telephone, Bunny.
Take a message, please.
No one can say no to Quick. Say, Bunny, want some Quick?
Great, I'll get it. I've got it. Oh, Quick is so rich.
And thick.
And milk chocolatey. That was good. Oh, since you're not playing.
Nestle Quick chocolate flavor. No one can say no to Quick.
Coming from the farthest reaches of the universe to challenge the worst villains on Earth are the most powerful heroes ever in the Battle of the Superpowers Collection. Superpowers figures with power action, each sold separately.
They're so powerfully built. Squeeze them, they've got power action like Superman. And Batman. Here comes Hawkman. Watch out for Brainiac's power action. And each comes with a mini comic.
The Superpowers Collection, Superman, Batman, Brainiac, Hawkman, and other figures with power action, each sold separately, new from Kenner.
ダイアクロンレスキュー隊員。彼らの乗る車はロボットに代わり救助に活躍する。メカが光るダイアクロンカーロボット。
We're back. It's that time. It's that time. Time to go. Oh, my dears, it's that time that we walk on separate lines. It's okay. There are other days that we can be intertwined. So don't you ever mind. All the items on this show that I bought came from Big Bad Toy Store, eBay, and Amazon online stores. So in this toy haul, we're gonna tally it all up. Let's do it.
A whopping $1,012. Oh, shit.
Man, but it's not a lot. It's not a lot when you think of the pleasure. You can't buy, like when you think about like things that bring you joy, you can't really put a price on it. You learn that when you get to a certain level that you can't put a price on good friends. You can't put a price on loyalty. You can't put a price on love. You can't put a price on the things you love. You just can't. That's why they're priceless. So this doesn't mean nothing. It seems like a lot, but it's not, when it gets down to it. Because the joy that it brings me, the memories that are captured and savored in this whole experience is priceless. So I thank you guys for sticking with me on this episode. It was a little bit long, but, that's the whole point, is just to, be creative, bring good things to the world, share your journey. I've done. Just looking back in hindsight, it's always like it just amazes me now, because as I share this with you, like I just really was that guy. I was always behind the scenes, always around, and I knew this person, that person, experienced this and that, and I was never in the foreground. And then when I have opportunities to put myself in the foreground, with whether it was Screaming Terror or even the Wayfarer for that matter, or anything, I always like to stay in the shadows. It's like I love my anonymity. I'm not putting myself on that level, but in a way, it's kind of like God. You don't see God, but yet every day you're living in His mercy. You're living in His blessings. You're living off of the sun that He provides, the land and everything that's provided in this world. You don't see Him, though. A lot of the people you work for, you could work for a company that you've been there for 20 years and never knew your boss. You know what I mean? Never knew the owners of your company, but yet you work for them, you get paid for them. So, everything seen isn't always what is. And it's like I shared in one of my Screaming Terrors, the most richest people and most powerful people in the world, you'll never see them. You'll always see the people that pretend or have money that you see. Those are not the richest people in the world. And the people pulling the strings, you'll never see them either, So it's always kind of like what's the hidden world is more powerful than the seen. And another thing I want to say before I let you guys go, I was thinking about that whole thing when I shared that about Prodigy, and how he mysteriously died off of a boiled egg, in the hospital. Now, common sense tells you the guy didn't die from a boiled egg no more than Left Eye died in a car accident, Left Eye from TLC, no more than Tupac died in that car. All of these things that happened were strategic events that happened to silence these people because they were at a space in their life where they were changing, they knew what was going on, and it was a threat to the system. It's sad because, all of these people that I mentioned brought something beautiful to the world. Whether you thought they was perfect, whether you want to judge them, whether you feel this way or that way, it doesn't matter. Because in the end, what they brought is what counts. And it's just sad because I went to school with this kid, I knew him. And I had other experiences with him that I haven't shared. And that being said, it's sad to know that, the system got the best of him. But his legacy lives on in the work that he's done and the things that he said before his time before he was removed. Well, so in life, you have to realize, a good friend is more valuable than anything. And in all honesty, that's what I try to be in these shows and this stuff, is to be a good friend. Yeah, you may never meet me, may never see me. Some of you have the courage, maybe so. Some of you who don't, the rest of you who don't, well, I'll just be a voice on a video. However, a good friend sticks with you through all things. I can't stress this enough, that a good friend, when life shakes you up and you go through all kinds of stuff, that real friend is going to be there. Those fake friends, once things get shaken up, they the first ones out the door, and they be like, well, good luck, and they just get out. But the real friend, they stick around, because the world, aka the government and the government bodies of the world, they never sell you peace. They always selling you war. They never sell you peace. Peace is something you have to find within, and you find that when you understand yourself, when you understand the source that created all things, when you understand what life really is trying to teach you, then you can then begin the journey to find peace. Because if you think peace is going to be in this world with the government and the job and all of this type of stuff, you're going to be wrong. You ain't going to find peace like that. You ain't going to even find peace half the time, most of the time, even with your family or even loved ones sometimes. But when you find peace in yourself, no one can take that from you. So find your peace, my friends. That being said, thanks for joining me on this show, and I'll see you the next time around when I go shopping. Take care now. Wow, that was fun. I guess the world isn't such a bad place after all. Look, no one likes to say goodbyes. No one likes to see things come to an end. So let's just say, we'll see you again. Take care, everybody.